Career-focused versus well-balanced women. That's the topic we'll be discussing on this show today, live. So stick around for all of that and much, much more. Late Night with Coach Eli starts right now. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition. Oh my God, unexpected show, but it's going to be a real doozy. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell so that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. That's right. I'm here to help as many people as possible get the best possible grips on their lives. That is, if you are open to the help, you have to first and foremost be open to the help. And if you are, I can help you get the best possible grip on your life so that way you can accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. Because I want you all to be successful. But there's a recipe for success, and that's what I'm here to help you politely and tactfully, teach you to do. That's what I'm all about. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to help you get what you want. Now, before we get started here, let me make sure that the notification has gone out, and it looks like the notification has gone out on YouTube. Let me check out the YouTube back end and make sure that things are rolling smoothly. Oh yeah, nothing phases Eli. Eli takes a licking and keeps on ticking. No matter what happens to Eli, he takes a licking and he keeps on ticking. The YouTube back end looks great. It's rolling smoothly. And once again, tonight we are simulcasting, or this early morning, it's a late night show. We are simulcasting on Facebook, and there are 2 people actually viewing on Facebook at 3:52 a.m. Eastern, 12:52 a.m. Pacific. Wow. We have some night owls, and it is Friday going into Saturday. It's Saturday now, but it's Friday night going into Saturday. Now one just dropped off. There's one on Facebook. Let me make sure that it's rolling smoothly on Facebook. 52 a.m. Pacific? Wow. We have some night owls. And it is Friday going into Saturday. It's Saturday now, but, it's Friday night going into Saturday. Yeah. Now, one just dropped off. There's one on Facebook. Let me make sure that's rolling smoothly on Facebook. It's rolling very smoothly on Facebook. Okay. And before we get right to it, before we get any further, once again, I'd like to pay special props to this channel sponsor. That's none other than my great longtime friend who owns an amazing marketing company. His name is Troy Brewer, and he is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. For all of your product and service needs from the most trusted professionals in the industry, please visit www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. One more time, that's www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. You can also visit a subsidiary of the Discover Community Network known as the DCN Internet Radio Network. And when you go on that website, you are going to find a bunch of talk and music internet radio stations. And more than likely, one of those talk or music internet radio stations will suit your talk or music genre needs. So if you want to check that out, please consider checking out www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. One more time, www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. Both those links are below the description, about a third of the way down on the YouTube side of things. And if you go to either of those websites and you also find out how to connect with Troy by email or by phone, and if you reach out to them, please do not fail to mention that Coach Eli has always sent to you with lots and lots and lots and lots of love. Because like I always say, no matter what time of the day it is, day or night, even in the middle of the night, after midnight right now, almost 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific, Coach Eli has lots of love for everyone. Everyone. I love everyone, no matter what. No matter what. Whew. Now, Mutt, I saw you in the chat on the YouTube side of things. She says, hey, Eli and everyone, I'm here. Will be listening as I finish up my work for my online polymer clay class I have today. Wonderful, Mutt. Mutt, are you still there by any chance? And do you love the energy, Mutt, at almost 4 a.m. in the morning, which it's almost 4 a.m. in your neck of the woods. It's almost 1 a.m. in my neck of the woods. And Mutt, this was a very impromptu stream. This was a very, very impromptu live stream. I literally put this stream together about an hour to an hour and a half before I went live. That's why it took me a little bit longer to start it. Sorry for being 10 to 20 minutes late, folks. But I'm the kind of guy, I'm the kind of coach that loves to coach by sharing my own personal experiences. And tonight, I had another one of those experiences because many of you know I've been a single man for quite some time now. And I put myself out there in the dating world, Match.com to be exact. I feel Match.com is one of the best ways to meet people. But still, it's interesting no matter how you meet people. I had another interesting experience I'm going to be sharing here with you folks tonight. And that's what sparked me to create this topic, career-focused versus well-balanced women, how men can prevent wasting time seeking the right match. One more time, career-focused versus well-balanced women, how men can prevent wasting time seeking the right match. Now, this is a topic that, how do I say this the right way? I really didn't even realize this was happening until about 4 years ago when I started my first YouTube channel and right when I started my coaching business. And I became a part of many other groups that were talking about female nature and, relationship dynamics between men and women. And because nowadays, as I've mentioned in the past many times, women have been liberated. So women can now do just about anything and everything that once only men were able to do, meaning that women can work equal pay for equal work, the right to vote, the right to bear arms. They have the same civil rights, and they can do anything and everything, right? But what has that done for relationships? How has that affected men and women in relationships? And in this case tonight, I'm going to be more so specifically, addressing how it's affected women, but it still can affect men by wasting a man's time connecting with a woman that may come out and say, yes, I'm ready for a relationship. I'm ready to find the right guy. I'm ready to settle down. And if it feels right, get married and have a family, right? But then, after talking with these types of women, that you meet online and then you talk on the phone for hours and then you meet in person, all of a sudden their true colors come out, even if you show up exactly the same. So for me, I was talking to this woman. I connected with her on Match.com about 4 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. And I typically, would not be open to dating women much younger than me, especially women in their early 30s. But, I decided to go look at some profiles from women between the ages of 31 and 39, or 30 and 39. And I came across this 31-year-old woman that lives here in the Bay Area. She actually lives in the North Bay, where my ex used to live, a pretty nice area. And read her profile. She seemed like a really a very well-spoken woman. She was cute. I wouldn't say that she was a supermodel or anything like that. I'm not looking for a supermodel, but to me, she was attractive, and she had that that nerdy look that I like. I actually like women that are kind of a little bit nerdy, but also social and fun and laid back and just really down to earth. So I sent her a message. Now, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to switch over to the browser screen, and I'm going to show you folks the conversation I had with this woman on Match.com. And then I'm also going to show you, I'm not going to show you, but I'll read the text messages when we started texting. I didn't have time to prepare the text messages, but I did prepare the Match.com messages, so you folks will at least see that, but you'll be able to hear, the texting conversation. I'm not going to mention her name, obviously, and I've whited out all of the information that the trolls would use to, do some stupid things. But I will be referring to this woman as ma'am, and you'll understand what I'm saying here when I get to it in a second. Mutt says, yeah, I'm here, just putting my Cali work in the oven to bake. Mutt, you love these stories that I share about my personal dating experiences. It certainly helps people, learn what to better look for and what to avoid and what to focus their time on, right? Are these pretty helpful, Mutt? I'm curious to know. Do my dating woes or woos, however you say it, do my dating stories, provide help? I'm curious to know. All right. So the show tonight, this is how it's going to go. I'm going to talk about this woman. This is probably going to be a 3-part show. We're probably going to be here anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. And then I also have a couple of blogs to go over pertaining to this topic. The first one is going to be from the site lifehack.org, 13 ways successful women strike a balance between work and family. And then after that, from the CNBC website, and this was written a couple years ago, I'm going to be reading an article and putting my spin on it. That's titled, Building a Career is More of a Priority Than Having Kids, Say Single American Women. One more time. Building a career is more of a priority than having kids, say single American women. Right. They make it a priority, then they get settled in, and they get to their mid to late 30s, and their biological clock starts ticking, and then they're scrambling to find someone to impregnate them before they can no longer have kids. and I have known that this has been true for quite some time, but I had not connected with or gone on a date with a woman significantly younger than me, like a woman in her early 30s, like I did earlier tonight or last night, for many reasons. Number one, a lot of these younger women like to date guys closer to their age, or maybe, 5 to 10 years older. This woman I went on a date with was 31, and I'm 47. She's 16 years younger than me. So you may be asking, knowing that, why did I meet her if I probably knew more than likely it wasn't going to work out? Well, for one of many reasons. Number one, I was curious to see how it would pan out, because whether it worked out or not, it was going to give me more information to share with you folks, and it was going to teach me more about, it was going to teach me more hands-on regarding what young women are struggling with today and what they're going through and what they say they want and, how they respond to things. And like I said, what they say they want and, what they really want, right? Or what are they really ready for compared to what they say they're ready for, which is a better way to put it, right? So let's just go over and switch to the browser source. And let's just get to the conversation with this 31-year-old woman. She was 5'10", same height as me. I would probably guess she was about maybe 130, 540 pounds. She was cute. I mean, she wasn't super, super skinny, but she wasn't overweight. She was in decent shape. And she loves the outdoors, hiking and all that stuff. And she had mentioned that she's, more on the introverted side, just to give you a little bit of a prelude into this. So I sent her my standard message that I sent to women. Because if you write a personalized message to every woman out there, you're not going to know if they're going to respond or not. So it's just not worth it. Get a standard message like this one here. and see if they'll check out your profile and they respond to you. Women are going to look at your pictures and read your profile. If they're physically, mentally, and emotionally initially attracted to you, it doesn't really even matter what you write to them initially. You just want to get them to see your profile. So here's what I always write. I get a feeling you are different than any other woman I'll match. Please check out my profile when you get a moment. It is unlike any other profile you have seen, but don't get scared off by it. I'm just a good guy that has no time for games and want to meet someone that's truly in a good place for dating, love, and romance. I look forward to your response. Sincerely, Eli. And this woman ends up responding the same day. She writes back and says, "Hey, Eli, I appreciate the openness and honesty on your profile for sure." Mutt Nuts World says, yes, they do help. And they're pretty comical too, huh, Mutt? And yes, I am different than any other woman I'll match, but I suppose everyone is different than everyone else I'll match, regardless of how they immediately present themselves. Okay, that's a little bit more than I expected to get, with that, with my initial message. But this woman did put in her profile she was introverted, but she's an outgoing introvert. So typically, I don't, message introverts. But when one is outgoing, I give them a chance, because some introverts, in my opinion, that are outgoing are very nice, down to earth, sweet women, and they're still talkative, and they're not boring. So this was an open-minded, talkative introvert. Let's see. It's all about finding the right kind of different for you. That's true. LOL. Nothing scared me away about what you said. Totally reasonable. But just so you know, my personality type is supposedly an introverted one, but that always surprises everyone. As an extreme extrovert, have you been handling the shelter-in-place time okay through COVID? Of course I have. I haven't changed my life one bit. I just wear a mask wherever I need to wear a mask. And if, I'm around trustworthy people that I know don't have COVID and we're not out in public, I don't wear a mask. You just, you keep on living life just like you did before COVID. Whoops. Okay. So let's go to the next screenshot there. So I wrote blank, love your name, by the way. I'm not going to mention her name. Her name wasn't completely unique, but it wasn't the most common name. And I really actually did like her name. Thank you for your very sweet response. Maybe you think you are completely introverted, but to me you come off very well balanced, and I get this good feeling that we would get along very well, for the reasons I just mentioned a little bit ago. She seemed like an outgoing, talkative introvert, which I felt, okay, this is the type of woman that is going to be calm and relaxed. She's talkative, but she's not the kind of woman that, is looking to date multiple guys or looking to cheat. She's like a trustworthy, really down to earth, and how do I say this right? Really sweet and considerate, caring, and loyal type of woman. That's the feeling my intuition told me about her. I am not an extreme introvert. I meant to say extrovert. I wrote it the wrong way. I explained this to her on the phone we talked. I am not an extreme extrovert. Rather, I am pretty well balanced, and I think you'd get a better feel about who I am if we talk by phone. If you'd like to send me your number, I will text you in a bit, and if you are around later this evening, we can talk by phone before bedtime. I can also better answer how I am handling COVID by phone in a much better way. LOL. I look forward to your response, and we'll go from there. And then she gets back to me and says, thanks. I'm glad you like my name. My mom did a good job picking it. Okay. I mean, she's playfully responding back and forth. This would sound good to any guy at this point, right? And yeah, sure. That sounds great. Then she gave me her number. I whited it out. The blank area code, I whited that out, is not a typo. I've been in California for 11 years, but I still have my Ohio phone number, LOL. Many people that move keep their same number. You can use it anywhere. I actually almost missed a job opportunity once because the employer kept calling 415, which is a Bay Area code. Her area code was similar in Ohio, but not 415. So that was quite funny there. All right, next screenshot here. Whoops. Give me a second here. Now, with me, I get straight to the point. I'm not an insecure guy, but I'm not going to waste my time meeting a woman that's going to say she read my entire profile and saw my pictures, but didn't see everything. And then, we talk and meet, and she sees something she didn't like that I could have found out by just asking her. So it's not insecurity. I always ask these questions straight up, right? Straight up. So I wrote, awesome. Just 3 quick things before I text you. I'm very secure within myself, but I just want to make sure a few things work for you and that you noticed them. I am 47 years old and also shave my head. We are also the same height, which is no problem to me, but just want to be sure it works for you. And the reason why I asked her that is because other women have a problem with that. Like, I talked to a woman one time, and initially she was talking with me. She didn't notice until after a few phone calls that I was the same height. And she said, well, I like to wear heels, and I want to be with a man that's taller. I always love wearing heels, so it's not going to work out, Eli. Okay, I really wish you would have paid closer attention to my profile and told me that initially, so we didn't waste several hours and a few phone calls initially. But hey, now I got to be even more clear, right? You see, you live and you learn, right? You find ways to not waste your time, because a lot of women, maybe everyone's picky to a certain extent, but there are many, if not most women, are very picky or have certain deal breakers. And if they miss something in your profile, even if you clearly write it, which is what I'm trying to say, which could be a deal breaker, I'm going to make sure before I continue, even on a phone call. Please share your thoughts regarding all of this, and we'll go from there. You seem really sweet, and I get an amazing feeling about you, but being as considerate as I am, I want to make sure that so far it works for you. Now, I was taking these screenshots on my phone, and I didn't have time to crop them on my phone, so I'm gonna read this part on the next screen here. All right, let's see. She gets back to me and says, thank you for being so considerate. As far as height goes, I care more about the height of a man's character than his physical stature, LOL. Okay, let's keep that in mind, all right? I'm not a heightist. I mean. Oh, kind of like, she's saying heightist, kind of like, I'm not a chauvinist, right? Chauvinist, heightist, right? You get it, right? She goes, I'm not a heightist. That's so nerdy, but it was cute. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cute, right? So we're having fun, right? But I have encountered men that are insecure about how tall I am. There are a lot of insecure men in this world, man, and I don't blame you for that. We even talked about that on the phone. If you don't care, I don't care. Great, because I don't. I like tall women. I like shorter women, tall women. I like a woman as long as she's a cool woman to hang out with and she takes care of herself. As far as the shaved head thing, I personally think that would be a silly reason to dismiss someone. I agree with you, man, but some women are that picky, right? So I got to ask, right? It's not insecurity. I got to ask because I don't want to waste my time. You don't like the bald bull? Then let's move on. Let's leave a space for someone else to come in that's going to love the bald bull, right? Then she goes, a big age gap could potentially make a relationship a little more complicated, though, I suppose. I have encountered older men that could be extremely condescending to me because of my age, so I wouldn't tolerate being treated that way. But you seem like a really respectful man, and I wouldn't want to project negative past experiences onto you, of course. Well, ma'am, now that I've gone on a date with you, and the reason why you dismissed me, which we'll get to later, makes me wonder if what these men were saying about you is true and you just didn't want to hear the truth. No disrespect. I think this woman was a really nice and sweet woman. I just honestly think that she's not ready for a relationship. She thinks she is, but she's not. And she just started a new job working for a major refinery in the Bay Area, and she got promoted to project manager, and she's really into her career. But I asked her, are you able to balance your career and, a good man coming into your life? I asked her, and she said yes. But again, like I tell guys, and I live gospel to this myself, I don't look at what a woman says. I look at what she does, right? Same thing with guys, for the ladies. Ladies, don't look at what a guy says. Look at what a guy does. So, if your actions are not congruent with your words, then your words mean nothing, right? Right. Okay. Then I wrote back and I said, wow, because I was impressed. That was a pretty good response. Pretty good response. But see, the reason why these older men she probably felt these older men were being disrespectful. No, these older men probably just called her out a little bit more than I did. I didn't really call her out. I tactfully, when I talked with her earlier tonight, I met her at a supermarket parking lot. We sat in my car for an hour, and we were gonna end up going hiking tomorrow. And I'll get to that story in just a little bit. It's interesting. Okay, let's continue here. But she said, "Wow," or I said, "Wow." Sorry, wow. I was impressed. And this is the last screenshot here. I have a few things to do this afternoon and evening. I can talk anytime after 9 p.m. with no time limit, but do you have 5 minutes right now for a brief call? You just made my day with what you said, and I would love to hear your voice and have you hear mine briefly as well. So I'm looking to see. It's the middle of the day. It was 4:44 p.m. a couple days ago, right? Is this woman going to take 5 minutes and talk with me in the middle of her workday? I'm looking to see how balanced is she, right? Sure, I have a meeting at around 5:30, but I can chat for a quick few. All right, great. Great. So far, so good, right? So far, so good. I'll text you now, and we'll call you in 5 to 10 minutes. Looking forward to it. Called her up, had a 20-minute conversation. It was great. We also decided to talk more that night. That was 2 nights ago. And so that's that. Now, let me do this. Let me go back to, actually, let me set up for the articles when I come back from break here in a little bit. Give me 1 second here. Let's change this over to that. Give me a second. I'm like the open broadcast software OBS guru. I can get this set up quick. All right, we're set up for the first article. Well, that's not going to be the first one. It's going to be this one here when I get back from break. But before I get to break, I have a little bit more to share with you here. Let's get to the text messages with this woman, okay? How do you like my background tonight? My background tonight, I'm going to turn up the chat for a second. Be a leader, not a boss. Be a leader, not a boss. That goes for you ladies as well that are in executive or leadership or managerial positions. Be a leader, not a boss. And both men and women will respect you, right? I love this background. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. From pixabay.com. Love that. Royalty free and copyright free. It's awesome. That lady looks good in a suit right there, right? She's cute. She looks good, huh? All right. She's a working woman. Okay, let's get these text messages here. Let's see. I wrote, "Hi, ma'am." I'm just going to refer to her as ma'am. "It is Eli from Match. Is this the right number?" She goes, "It is indeed. LOL. Hi, Eli." I wrote back, "You are so funny. I love it. I'll call you in about 5 minutes. Looking forward to it." Sounds good. Me too. So, and then we talked on the phone. We were going to talk later on that night, a couple nights ago. And she actually, I told her, just, text me when you're free. And, we can talk. I'll let you know when I'm free. So at 7:56 p.m. on Wednesday, she texts me, "Hey, Eli," and I was live on the air at that point with another stream. "Finished up my meeting. Feel free to give me a call when you're available." So I wrote back to her right when I went off the air at 8:19 p.m. on Wednesday. "Closing out my workday, should be 30 minutes or less. I'll text you right before I call, okay? I look forward to speaking with you." She says, "Sure, sounds good." Okay. And at 8:45 p.m., I wrote, "Are you ready for me? LOL," with 4 exclamation points. She's like, "Haha, sure," right? Playful, cocky, funny, it's all good. "I'll call in 5 minutes or less." I wrote to her. And then after the phone call, I wrote to her, "You are too cute," because she said something like really nerdy. And I was just kind of flirting with her a little bit. No big deal. She says, "Thanks, you are though." "What do you mean?" I wrote, "Not sure what you meant by 'you are though.'" This was after our phone call on Wednesday night at around 10:45 p.m. She goes, "You are cute though. That's what I meant." All right. So she's attracted to me. She knows I'm 47. I know she's 31. We're both the same height. She knows I'm cool with that, right? She knows I have a shaved head. She's like, cool with that. It'd be silly to dismiss someone because of that, right? So everything is all good, right? And we just had a great conversation, and she's texting me after the conversation. She's excited, right? And she told me, she goes, "You're a very attractive guy on the phone," right? And I look the same. I'm the same freaking person in the pictures. Like, I'm no different at all, right? I could see if I showed up 50 or 100 pounds heavier, right? But geez. Anyway, we'll get to that. So I was just kind of flirting with her, just being, maybe I laid it on a little too thick, but she basically went through a divorce and got and finalized her divorce about 1.5 years ago. Plenty of time has gone by, and she even told me she had already started working through it before that time. So I don't think her divorce really has affected her in what happened between her and I, or what I feel has been happening with her in her dating world. Oh, and by the way, when I talked with her by phone, I had asked her, "How long have you been on Match for?" She goes, "I've been on Match since last February, 2020. I said, "Continuously?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Wow. And you haven't found the right person during that time?" She goes, "I just haven't had good luck." Well, ma'am, you just came across one of the best options you're ever going to get. And I'll tell you the reason why she shot me down. I'll tell you what happened. Like, I don't know what else. There's nothing more I could have done. I was just being me. And I tested this woman relentlessly. I you know what the shit test is, right? I poop tested her. Like, on the phone, I asked her all these questions. I pushed her buttons a little bit through texting. I do that on purpose to see how they're going to react, right? And would we get along? Like, I threw every test I had at this woman, and either she knowingly or unknowingly passed my tests. And I hate when somebody passed my tests and it leads me to believe that there's like a 75, 80% or greater chance of it working out, and it doesn't work out. Then I gotta look deeper and wonder what really happened, because it's not me. I'll tell you that right now. It's not me. It's her. And we'll get to that in a second. I'm not trying to blame her. I'm just saying It's her. She's just not ready for a relationship. And we'll get to that in a bit. But let's continue with these texts. So on Thursday, the next afternoon, I messaged her. I said, good morning, ma'am. I know, ma'am, instead of her name. Okay. I don't want to dox her. I know you are working, so no rush necessary on the response. How's your day going? She gets back to me 4 minutes later. Okay. It's going well. I'm in a 4-hour economic analysis training right now. Haha, not the most interesting thing in the world, but very useful. How's your day going? And I just, decided to throw some, Coach Eli charm her way. Maybe a little pushing the boundaries, maybe a little bit thick, but you know what I mean. You want to test out to see how they're feeling about you, right? Before you make the effort to meet them, because this woman lives almost an hour away north of where I live. I go, would it be a bad thing to say I've been thinking about you, LOL? She goes, haha, of course not. Thanks for sharing some of your mental real estate on me. That's like the nerdiest thing I've ever heard. Which, I liked her. She's cute and she's communicating with me back and forth. So it kind of turned me on a little bit. I was like, wow, okay, that was a cute thing to say. I wrote back to her and said, your super nerdy response is super sexy to me. It was. And I put in quotes, sharing some of your mental real estate on me, LOL. You are very interesting. She gets back to me and says, haha, glad you liked that one. I wrote back to her. I said, are you looking forward to our call tonight? I have some awesome ideas to share. Also, what time approximately are you available? She goes, I want to hear all of the ideas. Haha, I can do whenever after 7. So far, this woman is showing a high level of interest, right? She's told me she's thinking of a very good-looking guy. The age doesn't bother her. The height doesn't bother her. The shaved head doesn't bother her. We're communicating well, right? So far, so good, right? No reason to think that, meeting her would be a bad idea. You never know until you meet the woman. You never know. Or the man if you're a woman meeting the man. I wrote back, before I respond, get your mind out of the gutter, okay? I'm a gentleman, LOL. I just kind of threw that in there just to be a little flirty, right? She goes, haha, my mind wasn't there, but yours clearly was. And she's crying with the crying emoji, right? Out of laughter, the crying laughter emoji, right? And I wrote back to her, I said, now that's bullshit, and I'm going to call you out, sweetheart, because it was BS, because her mind was there. Because if a woman, I've learned this about women. If women cannot picture being intimate with you the first glance they see you, whether they see you in person or look at your pictures, it's never going to work. That's how women are. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. If a woman is physically attracted to you, honestly, you'll be able to get away with saying almost anything. It shouldn't be that way, but that's just the way it is. And you come back and say men are that way as well. Yeah, some men are, but good men like me, we didn't even start thinking about intimacy until we know that there's a mental, emotional, and spiritual connection. But that's just me. I responded after that. I said, regardless, I'll be free between 8:30 and 9, and I'll text you when ready right before I call. Okay? She goes, sounds good. So then at 8:20, after I finished my stream that night, this was Thursday, this was, a couple days ago, it's Saturday now. I go, are you ready for me? She goes, sure, exclamation point. I wrote back, are you sure? I'm quite a handful, LOL. She goes, yep. Okay. And when a woman says yep, that's kind of like all right, dude, enough is enough, right? So that was the first sign right there. I saw that, okay, maybe I'm laying on a bit too thick, or maybe she's just wants to get to the phone call and stop the playful banter, right? I wrote back, okay, give me a few to get my headset on and situate myself. Looking forward to talking with you. All right. We had a great conversation last night, another couple hours. Between Wednesday and Thursday night, we talked for 3.5 to 4 hours, something like that. Okay. So I texted her, and I told her I would text her this afternoon or yesterday afternoon to make the plans with her. I said, good afternoon. How's your day going? Mine is going very well. I'm looking forward to spending a little time with you tonight. I'll text you in about an hour or so with the time and location. She goes, it's going pretty well today. Looking forward to meeting you as well. I told her, that's nice to hear. I found a Safeway in your city that's right off the 101 freeway that should make it very easy for you to get to after a long day working. Here's the address. I actually really like this area of the North Bay. It is very nice and a very safe area. I'll meet you in the parking lot of this Safeway. I told her what kind of car I have. And I said we could just sit in my car for 30 to 60 minutes or so and just talk. I want to make this as simple as possible for you. Let me know if this works for you, and we'll finalize the plans. She goes, yes, that sounds good. Let me know what time you'd like to meet. And I just kind of threw something at her just to see, if I could, make her laugh or something, right? I go, give me a minute. I'm at a loss for words. And I was kind of at a loss for words because she was just being compliant with everything. Like she was being a total chick, a total girly girl, submissive and just letting the man take the lead, right? It's just beautiful. It's no disrespect. It's not that men and women aren't equal, in relationships nowadays, but when the man can be the leader and the woman can be a little bit more submissive than dominant, it's just a beautiful, beautiful sight. And it puts me at a loss for words because most women are not like that anymore. And it's pretty sad because it's not the way they were biologically made to be. But anyway, let's continue. I get back to her and I said, let's meet at 8:30 p.m. instead of 8 since you typically get off work at 7. I took her thoughts and feelings into consideration, right? I want to give you a little more time to relax and decompress after you get off work. I'm a cool dude. I'm being respectful, and you know what? I'm just trying to be a gentleman, right? Also, you don't need to overdress or anything like that. I will be wearing some nice Nike sweats and dress very casual. It doesn't matter what you wear. Just know I'm not expecting you to be all dolled up. Just wear something that's relaxing to you and makes you feel comfortable. Let me know how this sounds and we'll be all set. She goes, 8:30 works for me. And then I just, I was throwing, some funny jokes at her. I said, you are so easy, and I don't mean that in the negative way. LOL. I'll see you around 8:30 p.m. at the supermarket, ma'am. I will text you with an ETA from my car before I head out. I will be leaving around 7 or shortly afterwards. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you tonight. And she gets back and says, thanks for driving all the way up here to meet me. Looking forward to it. Right? So the rest was just, when we both got there, we were texting to find each other, and then she found me and came to my car and sat in my car. Now, I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to share briefly what happened when we met. It was a brief interaction. I think we only hung out for like 40 or 45 minutes, maybe 30, 35 minutes or so. I actually, ended it myself. Like when I noticed that when I can tell that a woman is not feeling it, I just want to end it as quickly as possible and get out of there and do it maturely, and not make her feel uncomfortable or not make her feel unsafe or anything. But that's what I did. And I'll explain what happened when she got into my car and we were talking right when I get back from the break. And then I'll read you. She sent me a text about an hour after our date, and I just gotten back home at that time. And I will read you what she wrote and dissect what I feel actually happened. So, and then I'm going to go into these two blogs that are just going to share a lot more about this topic here. So let me do this. Give me a second here. Give me just 1 second here. Just want to check some. Okay. All right. Let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. And one more. One more. Let's see here. All right, folks, I'm going to step away for a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. When we return, I'm going to share the final part of how my date ended and the text that she sent me. Well, how my date went, when I met her. And then an hour afterwards, when I got back home, she sent me a text to share her thoughts, which honestly, I can actually respect that. Most women would just block you and move on. But it was quite interesting. So stick around for that. We'll be right back. I'm back. I'm wondering if Mutt is still watching and if she's going to step away from her project she's working on to say welcome back as always. But I'm back and I feel good. It's the middle of the night and I feel good. Even after a date, I wouldn't say it was a bad date, but even after a date that didn't go as expected, I still feel good. Don't let anything get in the way of accomplishing whatever you'd like. It's just a little hiccup. You can work through it, right? Mutt says, welcome back. You feel good, Mutt? You feel good? Are you glad I'm live in the middle of the night, keeping you company, Mutt? You like that? You like that? Ooh, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, love it. I love it. You love it? Be a leader, not a boss. Be a leader, not a boss. I'll share more about that in just a second. Oh, I feel so good. I feel so good. Mutt says, yeah, she loves it, loves it, loves it. Okay, all right, settle down, coach. We know you have boundless energy in the middle of the night, but still, you've got a show to run. You still have a long way to go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is called Lay It Down by Silent Partner from the YouTube audio library. And I like to lay down the law for myself because you know what? I believe in myself and I won't settle for anything less than what I feel is best for me. And you should look at yourself in the same way. Don't settle for second best, all right? Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And be a leader in life, not a boss. Don't be a bossy person. Nobody likes a bossy type of person. Even if you're a manager for a company like I used to be in my retail days, treat people the way you want to be treated. Lead them to success. Don't boss them around. Lead them to success because your success is only as good as their success, right? Think about that. Food for thought, right? All right. Hoo-wee. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition, live here on YouTube. And once again, also simulcasting live on Facebook. I wonder if anyone's watching on Facebook right now. No one's watching. That's okay. They can check out the replay. That's okay. Not a big deal. Tonight, we are discussing career-focused versus well-balanced women. How men can prevent wasting time seeking the right match. One more time, we're talking about career-focused versus well-balanced women. How men can prevent wasting time seeking the right match. And guys, you got to be real careful. You got to become more intuitive and look for the signs because there are women out there that will come off as being ready to date and be in a relationship. And they themselves may even think that they're ready for a relationship when they're really not. So you got to look for the signs. And when I share the rest of the story here, regarding this 31-year-old woman I met, I'd say earlier tonight or last night, it's after midnight now, you're going to understand that I was able to read the signs. And even though everything seemed perfect, almost perfect before meeting, and I tested her. I asked her many questions. I was playfully flirting with her, playful banter, being a little cocky funny, and she was responding. She passed all my tests. For Christ's sake. And it still didn't work out. So what should you look for? I'm going to share that with you. Right now. Let's just get right to that. Okay? Let's do it right now. Let me get back to the text here. So I drove almost an hour to the North Bay. This is where my ex Dana used to live. Like Dana used to live in Novato. Like this woman lives a little bit further south of Novato. So it wasn't as far. It was, it would be another 15-minute drive to get to Novato from where I was at. But I crossed the Golden Gate Bridge I can't remember what the Golden Gate Bridge costs now because I have this fast track. We had an electronic toll pass, and you just drive right through it, and it just debits your account. I think it's like $8.50 to cross the Golden Gate Bridge now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to check that out. Golden Gate Bridge toll. Let's see. I think it's $7.70 to cross. Oh my God. It's $7.70, almost $8 to cross the Golden Gate Bridge. The other bridges in the Bay Area are $6. The Golden Gate Bridge is very special. It's always been the more expensive one, but I love driving over that bridge. And they're actually doing some work and construction on that bridge right now. So I'm not sure what they're doing, but they had signs saying construction on the Golden Gate Bridge, and they had a bunch of lanes closed down, but it was still a smooth ride. There wasn't really a lot of traffic, so that was pretty good. Probably has to do with, the COVID time and people working from home and not doing as much driving as usual. But so, yeah, I went to go and meet this woman, and I met her in a Safeway parking lot, and she came into my car and she sat in my car, and she looked okay. She looked cute, to be honest with you. And I wasn't being judgmental. I was still attracted to her, but she didn't look as cute as her pictures did. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't hold that against her. And she wasn't really wearing any makeup. And I had told her not to wear makeup or anything like that. I just told her to come casual, right? So I wasn't being judgmental, but if she, is going to be a little, I wouldn't say she was critical. If she, was going to dismiss me, then, I'll be a little critical. And I'll say, yeah, she could have done a little bit of a better job with her appearance and showing up. But it wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was terrible, right? But she came and sat, in my car, and I could just tell, like, she was feeling extremely awkward and nervous. I could see her. She was very stiff. And I asked her, because I picked up on that right away, right? And when I pick up on a woman being that stiff and like that nervous, I get the feeling like, okay, she came and saw me, and at first glance, she didn't like what she saw, which could always be a possibility. But I look exactly the same as my pictures. No different. I don't weigh any more. I don't weigh any less. I have the same beard, the same face, same hat. She knows I have a shaved head. She knows we're the same height. She knew everything about me, right? Same personality, all of that, right? I showed up in my nice car. It was clean, smelled nice. I was wearing cologne. I even did my beard tonight. I shaved it. I don't know what more I could have done, right? So I did the best I could, right? I showed up being me, right? Okay. And because I noticed her feeling a little bit, or really kind of like stiff and awkward, I said, "Are you feeling nervous?" She goes, "No, I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous unless you're trying to make me nervous." And right then and there, I knew that she just wasn't feeling it for whatever reason, right? So at this point, I was like, "This is done." I knew it was done within like a minute, right? But I was going to ask her some questions to see if she was going to be honest with me, right? The next question I asked her would be one I wouldn't have asked had this not happened. Okay, I asked her. I said, well, I just for poops and giggles, right? And I'm just kind of curious because sometimes people show up differently than their profile. Am I the same person? Do I look the same as in my pictures? Am I the same person that you were talking with? She said, yes, you look the same. Okay. I'm like, okay, that's great. And then once she said that, see, we were talking about going hiking the next day, Saturday, which is today. Now it's after midnight, it's Saturday, right? But this was Friday last night when we had gone out. And we had talked by phone on Wednesday and Thursday that, we were going to plan on going on a hike. And she actually, said, yeah, let's meet, let's go on our first meeting, our first date, and take a hike. And I had told her, I said, well, why don't we meet for a half an hour, like the night before, and just, make sure that everything is still there in person, because sometimes it's just not there, right? The last thing I would have wanted to do is go on a hike with this woman, spend half the day with her, and her feeling the same way she felt tonight. I'm a smart dude. I think ahead, right? I don't have a problem giving up an hour, for something that's not going to work. But I would have a problem giving up half a day with something that's just not going to work, right? So I basically ended up asking her after I asked her, when I noticed that she was feeling kind of awkward and stiff and all that. After I'd asked her, is she feeling nervous? She said no, not unless you are trying to make me feel nervous. And then I asked her, are my pictures the same? And blah blah blah. She said yes. The next question I asked her was, since you feel that way, that's cool. Yeah, maybe we can go and do, what are you thinking about the hike tomorrow? Would you like to go on that hike tomorrow? Right? I already knew she had checked out, right? So I asked her something that was going to force her to basically tell me where I stand, right? And if you're an intuitive guy like myself, you're going to know the signs and know what to ask to get your answer, so that way you can get out quick and not waste much more time, right? Okay? She said, well, let's not make hiking plans yet. Let's see if the chemistry is there, and let's talk and see if the chemistry is there. At that point in my head, I was like thinking, I know that chemistry is either there the moment that you meet, or it's not there. And if a woman sees you and immediately checks out and says, okay, I'm not feeling this, there's nothing you can do, right? There's nothing you can do. So when she gave me that answer, I knew this was not going to go anywhere. But I wanted to see how she was going to respond. I wanted to see if she was going to try to make an early exit, or if she was going to come clean and say, I'm just not feeling this, right? Now remember, she's a 31-year-old woman. She probably hasn't had a whole lot of dating experience. She was married for several years. She went through a divorce about a year and a half ago. And she's been on Match.com since February of 2020 last year. So we're looking at about a little over a year that she's been on Match.com. And for being a reasonably attractive woman, a tall, attractive woman in decent shape, she has a good job, makes good money, lives in a nice area. She has a nice personality. She has a great personality, which is what I'm trying to say. Why is she still single, right? Why is she still single? Now I know why she's still single. Because I don't think the reason why let me just tell you before I tell you my reason why, let me tell you what ended up happening. We talked back and forth for a little bit. She asked me a couple questions. I asked her a couple questions. And then I looked at the clock. We had been hanging out for 35, 40 minutes or so. And I said, let me know if you want to talk about anything else, and then I'll let you go. I know it's late and you want to get some rest. You had a long day at work. I was just trying to basically just make her aware that, hey, I understand you're not feeling this. I'm giving you your exit. You want an exit. I'm giving you your exit. I wish that you would have the balls to, because, women are stronger nowadays. We were talking about that. We were talking about, the modern day woman and masculine and feminine energy. She kind of brought that thing up. She works a managerial position, and she has a lot of older men that are reporting to her. And this is another struggle that, that women have nowadays. But the point I'm trying to make is that I was giving her the easy way out. And I said, okay, I'm going to let you get going. I'm going to head back. Just wanted to meet you. And you can go home and think about, what happened. And if you want to go hiking tomorrow, let me know. If not, I understand. I said, either way, let me know. And that's that. So I get home. And at 10:48 p.m. last night, she sends me, or 10:42 p.m. last night, she sends me a text. She says, hey, Eli, it was nice to meet you. I think you are an attractive and caring guy. but I don't feel that we would be compatible long term. So do I believe her when she says, I think you're an attractive and caring guy? I don't know. I really don't know whether I can believe that or not. I'd want to believe it. With most women, the reason why they don't give you a second chance is because of the physical attraction not being there, even if you're a good guy. Or if the physical attraction is there and you're a jerk, obviously you're not going to get the chance, right? But this had nothing to do with me being a jerk. I was a complete gentleman. I was a good guy, and I wasn't a sissy. I wasn't arrogant. I was well balanced. I was a cool, fun guy, great conversationalist, and so was she, right? Okay. So let's just hypothetically speak that, okay, she was physically attracted to me, and she does know I'm a caring guy, because that's an obvious thing. I can believe that, right? But I don't feel that we would be compatible long term. I enjoyed getting to know you, and I sincerely wish you all the best. So it's one of two things here. Number one, she wasn't physically attracted to me when she saw me, but I showed up exactly the same way as my pictures. Why would she meet me, if she wasn't physically attracted to the pictures on top of the great personality of the profile and our phone conversations, right? Okay? So, I mean, if I had to guess, maybe she was physically attracted to me. Maybe she started to realize, okay, Eli is 47 years old. I did say I was cool with that, but he is 16 years older than me. He's more established than me. He knows what he wants. He's really ready for this. And even though I said I'm ready, I don't know. I still want to kind of explore, right? So she's 31 years old. Right? Remember, she's 31 years old. And, she's been divorced for a year and a half. She's been on Match.com for over a year, since February 2020. And not that I really care, but, like when you're on Match.com and you start talking with someone, you can see when they're online, right? And she's been online most of the day, right? And I'm not going to, most of the days when we were talking, right? And I'm not gonna get on her for talking to other guys, because we didn't have a commitment, and it wasn't at that point yet, right? Okay, because hey, until I was putting most of my energy into getting to know her, because I thought there might be a chance here, but like I still have my Match.com account open, and I was checking other messages too, so I wasn't gonna be a hypocrite and hold that against her. But after what happened tonight, I'm beginning to put two and two together and realize that, look, I don't think she's a bad woman. And also, she had mentioned to me that, I asked her, what's your relationship like with your family? My family, my parents have been happily married for, what was it, like 40 plus years or something. They're in Ohio, they're happy, and I haven't seen them in a while because of the COVID thing, but I'm going to go back and see them soon. So, I don't think this woman is a bad woman, and I don't think that she's trying to play games. I just don't think that she's ready for a relationship. I think what she's doing on Match.com is talking to guys and meeting guys and just kind of getting a feel of what the dating world is like, and basically saying that she's open to something happening when she really isn't, right? Because if you tell guys you aren't open to anything, they're not going to invest any time to get to know you or want to meet you, right? Okay? So that's what I think has been happening with her, right? And that's what I chalk this all up to. Now, would I have known this had I not met her? No, because talking on the phone with her was natural. It was great. We had a great conversation. She said she was attracted to me. I'm attracted to her. It was all great. This didn't shift until reality set in person, right? And maybe that's what happened here. And so, I wasn't going to respond, but hey, you know what? I was just going to send her one last text, and because I love helping people, right? Maybe I can help her get back on track, and maybe she'll end up finding what she wants when she figures out, that she's actually ready to start dating, right? I wrote back to her and I said, yeah, I figured that when I asked you about hiking in the car and how you responded. So, I made her aware that, I figured that you weren't interested when I asked you about hiking in the car and how you responded, you said, well, let's see if the chemistry is there before we make those plans. Well, if the chemistry wasn't there from the moment you showed up, if you weren't feeling that, then it's never going to be there. And you know that. You know I called you out, and you didn't like that. I'm not saying that she wasn't mean or anything, but she knew how intuitive I was. That's another thing. It's another thing. A woman like this is a very intelligent, very intuitive woman, and she knows. She knows what's going on. She knows the dating game. She's had enough experience, right, being on Match for over a year. She also knew with me that she wasn't going to get away with anything because I'm too intuitive, and I'm going to call her out. And, it was funny because whenever we would talk, she would say, I love it when you call me out. Like, I love it when people call me out. Well, ma'am, you say you love it, which maybe you kind of do, but you know that I'll call you out every time. And because of the fact that you're not being genuine with what you're looking for, maybe you don't realize you're not ready for a relationship, I'm going to call you out all the time. And eventually I'm going to figure out that, you really aren't looking for anything totally serious right now. So then I wrote to her and I said, I already knew where you stood 5 minutes after we met. I kind of knew like a minute after we met because I saw her demeanor, right? I wrote, you are a good woman. I said, take care of yourself, ma'am. I mentioned her name. You are a good woman, but you just aren't ready for a relationship. That's not a bad thing. You just aren't ready. Good night. And when I was talking with her in the car, I said, here's the thing I've realized with women in the modern world. You keep talking about your career and you're very focused on your career. She goes, I am very focused on my career. But I said, are you able to balance your career to have the relationship that you want? And, she goes, yeah, I feel I can. And the way she responded and the way that she looked at me was not a reaction that would lead me to believe what she was saying was truthful. I called her out like 3 or 4 times in that conversation, very tactfully and very maturely and in non-threatening ways. But she knew exactly what I was asking and why I was asking, and she knew I had caught on to, I wouldn't say what she was playing as a game, but she knew I had caught on to the fact that she's really not ready for a serious commitment. She wants to meet a guy and just hang out and maybe have something casual and just kind of like, not feel like any pressure or anything. And I had told her, I said, look, I'm not looking to force anything or put any pressure on you. But I said, look, I don't want to invest time in someone that doesn't have the relationship mindset, meaning that if it feels right to get to that point, you're open to it. If you're not open to that, I don't want to even talk anymore, or I don't want to meet, right? So that's what this all boils down to. This woman was just not ready for a relationship. She's not ready. She's exploring. She's looking to see what's out there. She's seeking validation. And she even told me, we talked about validation seeking behavior. She even told me, are you seeking validation or something with some of your questions? And I'm like, no, I don't seek validation. I just ask questions because I want to know if there's a connection or not. So for me, it's not about that. And I said, she goes, well, what if I'm seeking validation? And I said, it'd be more normal for you because it's feminine energy. I said, it's feminine energy to seek validation. And she said, why do you say that? I said, because here's the thing, with no disrespect, I respect you as a modern day woman working in the workforce, but validation seeking behavior is feminine energy. That's how women were back in the days before feminism and before women got equal rights and before women started working, right? Women were dependent on a man for everything because they weren't able to work. They would seek out a man that could provide for them, and the woman would take care of the house and the kids, right? And the woman would want to feel like she's doing a good job. So naturally, women seek validation. And she's like, well, I don't agree with that or really understand what you're saying. And I'm like, that's okay. You don't have to understand it. I said, most women don't. Most modern day women don't. And see, right then and there, I knew. Right then and there, I knew that this is the woman that's more career focused and more focused on moving herself forward. Does she want to have a guy? Does she want to have the companionship of a man? Probably. But she's going to be like most women typically are nowadays. She's not going to figure that out till her mid to late 30s, maybe early 40s. And at that point, the biological clock will be going tick, 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 right? And then she's going to be like, oh my gosh, can I see if I can seek out Eli if he's still around? And even if she finds me and I'm single, I'll be like, ma'am, you had your chance. You had your chance. Now you're 40 years old. We could have had 9 years and maybe 9 years together and possibly 3 kids during your more fertile days, ma'am. See, that's what happens. That's what happens. So this is another case of a woman that is unable to balance her work and her personal life. That's the bottom line. No disrespect. It's just the way it is. And again, there's only been one woman that's ever been able to balance her work, personal life as best as possible. And that was my ex, Dana. That's why the other day when I was doing those reminiscing videos that included my ex that we used to do on my former channel, I was doing those reminiscing videos live on the live stream, earlier on last week. Somebody in the chat from the past that I knew, his name is BBB, said she's the one that got away. Absolutely, she's the one that got away because, again, she's the only woman I've known and been with that has been able to perfectly balance her work and her personal life. She even had 2 teenage daughters, and she even balanced that. And she was very good to me. Most women nowadays, with no disrespect, are not able to balance their work and their personal life. And if you're a woman that's struggling with that, I can help you if you're open to the help. But I'm going to tell you this. If you come to me for help, I'm going to give you the truth and I'm going to give you tough love. And if you can't handle it, then don't bother. Because the only way I can help you is with tough love and giving it to you straight. That's that. All right. Let's get to this first blog here. Let's move on over here to the browser source because I just talked up a storm. Oh my God. All right. What do we have going on here? We have 9 people on YouTube right now. Wow. At 5:13 a.m. Eastern, 2:13 a.m. Pacific. And on Facebook, nobody's watching. That's okay. Maybe they'll catch the replay. All right. So this article is from lifehack.org, written by Michelle Molitor. It's called 13 Ways Successful Women Strike a Balance Between Work and Family. Today's modern working woman often has an array of many hats that she has to wear on any given day and in any given moment. Right. It's true. On top, if she has a family and a husband and kids, on top of that, she's probably working, right? So she has to balance her work, her husband, her kids, right? It's not easy. It wasn't easy doing what she did before women started working, right? Taking care of the kids, the house, the husband, all that, right? Now, on top of that, she's working full time, right? Hats can include, but are not limited to mom, chauffeur, chef, coach, wife, sister, moderator, negotiator, colleague, boss, and many, many more. And don't forget her job, if she's working. Over the last 15 years in my work as an executive coach, I have had the joy of working with all sorts of amazing and successful women from around the globe. Their struggles are variations on a theme as they try to find greater balance between the different facets of their lives while doing their best to express their genius and talents through their career and family. That is the biggest problem, folks. And it is an issue I see, and I kid you not, with 90+% of the women I encounter. Even if they're married or they're dating someone, they have a hard time balancing their work and their personal life. And do you not think that's going to affect your relationship and your family and your friends and everything else? Men have always worked. How come men are able to balance that and still be a good husband, boyfriend, father? How come men have always been able to balance that, but now women are working and they can't balance that? Why? With no disrespect, I'd like someone to respond to me in the chat, on Facebook, on YouTube, or in the comments section. Why? You wanted the same equal rights. You got them. No problem. We wanted to give it to you. I'm all for that. But if you want the same equal rights, then how come you can't handle it the same way that us guys have always handled it? Seriously. As women, we're great caretakers and we'll put the needs and priorities of others first, but over time, this only leads to failure. That's true. You got to take care of yourself first, even as a woman, before you can take care of anyone else. What I've constantly seen is that most women think I just can't have it all. They're resigned to the thinking that somewhere in their busy day, something has to give, and most times they're the one left holding the short stick. That's because women are emotional beings and they let their emotions get the best of them, which is normal. That's normal for women. That's why I feel it's harder for women to balance their work and personal life because they're always thinking emotionally, right? And when things get to be too much, just like it gets for men at times, sometimes us men, we get overloaded, right? But when we get overloaded, we sit back and we don't get all emotional. We're like, let me logically try to figure out how to handle this overload right now, right? Women will think, I'm not saying women aren't logical thinkers, they can't be, but they think with their emotions first. And that's where the difference is. That's why I feel women struggle to balance their personal and work lives, often overlooking their own health and well-being in order to take care of all the competing priorities of their career and family. So how can you actually have your cake and eat it too? It's real simple. How much do you want it, right? How much do you want it? How much do you believe in yourself? And how much are you letting the social stigma that's been put out there for the last several decades that, they're saying, ladies, you need to go to college, get a degree, and put your career first in front of your family, right? Now, I'm not against a woman having a career and going to college. You should do that if that's what you want to do, right? But the way the system is making it sound, and it's making you brainwashed to be, is that you got to do that first and get settled in first before you even start to think about a family or dating someone or marrying someone, right? And by the time you're done figuring that all out, getting your degree, getting a job, getting promoted, getting your own home, getting settled in, you're 35, 37, 40, and now you're in a hurry to find someone that can impregnate you before you go through menopause. I mean, seriously, do women not think about this in their 20s and their 30s? Or do they not care anymore? And why do women not care about having a family and having true love and happiness and getting married? We were biologically made to reproduce. Human beings were biologically made to reproduce. Women were made to carry kids, and men were made to impregnate the woman. That's our biology. That's human nature. What's happened to society nowadays? Think about that, right? Think about that. So, instead of trying to slice up your time 15 ways a Sunday to fit in everything, you have to first start with your own mindset. Yeah, you do. Don't let the social stigma overrule your best or better judgment. That's what's happening with women nowadays. And like I said in the past, it's been a while since I mentioned this, but there are a lot of very prominent women out there that run women empowerment groups And they have these memberships, and they basically persuade women to be this way. And the truth of the matter is, women should be persuaded to have everything in life. Have a family, have a great job, have both and balance it out. Don't put so much pressure on a woman to be independent to the point of where she completely eliminates her personal life, because that's not going to make her happy at the end of the day. This 31-year-old woman right now, I can guarantee you, she's not thinking about me right now, right? But 9 years from now, when she's still single and trying to find the one, she's going to think, I wonder how it would have been if I gave Eli a chance, right? She's not thinking about that right now because she has time, right? Right? And she's career focused, and she wants to get more settled in, and she wants to talk to and meet more men to see what's out there, right? Okay. 9 years from now, ma'am, when you're still single, because I know you're still going to be single. I just know your type, right? You're going to look back to this night that we went out and say, wow, how would it have been if I was with Eli? We would have gone hiking all the time. He would have taken me to nice getaway trips. Maybe we would have gotten married in a year or two. Maybe we would have had 2 or 3 kids by now. Now I'm 40, no kids, and I'm single, and I don't look as cute as I did when I was 31. Now I'm going to have a hard time attracting a man that I could have had 9 years ago, and that would have still been with me now at 40. That's what's happening. That's the truth. It's the truth of the matter. Here are 13 secrets of successful working women from around the world to help you adjust your thinking and positively shift your priorities to make time for the life you've been dreaming of living. A life where there's balance between a thriving career and a happy home life. I'm not going to go through all these in detail because it'll take too long. But I'm going to briefly read them, and then I'll be sharing this link and the other blog link I'll be reading after I take a break here in a second when I'm done with this. So number 1, set your compass is one of them. You got to get clear on your core values and purpose. Yeah, you got to know what you want, and you got to be congruent, and you got to be consistent. Number 2, manage your own health first. You got to be healthy first before you can take care of other people. You got to love yourself and be happy within yourself, okay, before you can make other people happy. You got to take care of yourself first again before you can take care of others. Number 3, communicate your wants and needs clearly. A lot of women don't do that nowadays, right? Okay? And even the ones that come off like they do sometimes are putting up a front, and they don't realize it. Just like this woman I met. She was very communicative and clearly mentioned her wants and needs, right? But when it came time to it, she wasn't ready. Go back and check out the first part of this show to find out why. The first part of the show, and then after it came back from the break, you'll hear, the continuation of the first part. Number 4, fill your own cup. Fill your own cup. Be sure to take time out for things that rejuvenate your spirit. Do things for yourself that are going to keep you happy and will allow you to not become overwhelmed or stressed out. So that way, when you're around your friends, your family, your husband, your boyfriend, or whatever, right? You're going to actually, be able to give it all you've got, genuinely, and you're going to be the best that you can be. Number 5, giving and receiving 100%. Yeah, so give and take. Don't just expect as a woman to get. You got to give. You got to do your part. And you got to be consistent. You want your man to be consistent? You got to be consistent with him too. Bottom line. Number 6, be clear on your priorities. What is the most important thing in your life above all else? What's the second most important thing? If you think that your job is the most important thing over your family, then you got a serious issue, right? Granted, you need your job to pay your bills, okay? But if you're, let's say you're married with kids and you're working at work and your husband, something happens and he needs you right away, or one of your kids needs you right away, would you still stay at work, or would you say, I got to go have an emergency? Where are your priorities at? Where are your priorities? It's great that women are working. Men have always worked, right? But even though we've always worked, when our family needs us for an emergency or something, we drop everything and we go to our family. We leave work. We have a good reason to leave work. We go take care of our family, and then we come back to work as soon as possible. We are well balanced. At least normal, decent men are well balanced. And with women being liberated and having the same rights and doing the same things that men have always done, you should be well balanced too. You should be well balanced between your work and your personal life. Number 7, get your Z's. That speaks for itself. Get enough sleep. I've talked about that. I did a stream on insomnia last week. Check it out if you missed it. So definitely get your sleep. Number 8, know your boundaries. Yeah, know what you're willing and not willing to do for your work. Where do you draw the line between work and family time? Right. If you're working a job that demands you to work 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, ask yourself, how's that going to affect your family, your husband, your kids? Or let's say your boyfriend, if you're dating a guy. Or let's say you want to find true love. Where are you going to find time to fit in true love if you're working a job that forces you to work your life away? You've got to take all of that into consideration. Number 9, be mindful of your energy drains. Are there some negative Nellies or hateful heralds? I say negative Nellies or negative Nancys, but same thing. That's cool. Hateful heralds. That's pretty good. You know those folks who are always trying to pull you down through their latest drama? Avoid all drama. Avoid drama at all costs. I've had enough drama in my life, and I'm sure you have as well. Just avoid all drama. I told this woman what I really liked about her. I told her this even after I knew she wasn't interested. But before she left, I said, look, let me tell you what I really like about you, why I think you're a cool person, okay? Why I like the fact that you're nerdy, and even though you're more introverted, you are outgoing, why I like your personality style, because you're the type of woman that you're not a drama queen. And she wasn't a drama queen. She wasn't. That's another very attractive quality, guys, to seek in a woman, is a woman that you know is going to be easy to get along with and is not going to bring any drama into your life. And I told her, I said, look, I can tell you would be the kind of woman that would not bring any drama into my life. She goes, well, sounds like you've had a lot of drama in your life. I said, we've all had drama. I'm sure you've had some too. You were married. See, she throws these things out. Like, I ask her legitimate questions, right? And she comes back at me, but then I come back at her. And the funny thing was, when we were talking on the phone on Wednesday and Thursday, I told her, I said, look, if you come at me, no problem. I'm a good guy. You know that. You can tell that, right? But if you come at me, I'm going to come at you 10 times harder. And she would always start laughing, right? When we were in the car talking, I came back at her, right? So be mindful of your energy drains. Number 10, schedule regular play dates. Just as much as your kids need play dates with their friends, so do you with your significant other and your girlfriends, right? That's the problem. Work, 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 all the time, work. I'm a single woman now. I've got a corporate executive job. I'm a project manager, right? No problem. Congratulations. You earned it. You deserve it. Good job. Seriously. But is that how you're going to define yourself? Are you going to define the rest of your life based on your job? Is that how you want to live your life? Working your life away? Or do you want to balance that and actually have a reason to work and make money so you can take some of that money and go on weekend getaway trips and go on vacations and spend time with friends, family, and loved ones, right? Balance, balance, balance. Number 11, dance with your inner muse. We all have some kind of creativity that comes through us. It can look like 1,000 different ways, such as painting, writing, gardening, etc. Okay? So you want to figure out what you enjoy doing for fun during your spare time and make time for it, whatever that may be, plain and simple. Number 12, ask for help. Ladies, don't be afraid to ask for help. Remember, you're still biologically women, and us men respect you as a biological woman, okay? We respect you for the way you were made to be, not the way society has forced you to be. With no disrespect, you want to work. We support you on that. But again, learn to balance it. And if you're struggling on how to balance it, especially if you're dating a guy like me, just ask and we'll help. And we're not going to try to take your career away or take anything away from you. But for Christ's sake, if you're struggling to balance out your work and personal life, why wouldn't you want your man or somebody to help you get it back on track? Do you not want to enjoy your life sharing it with somebody else at some point? Or do you just want to work and work your life away and grow old and be alone and be miserable? Right? What do you want? Let go of the small stuff. Right. Don't let the small stuff get to you. Don't sweat the small stuff. Great book if you haven't already read that book. It's been around for decades now. The thing is, guys have always dealt with small things, right? And us guys that are strong and we've learned how to deal with things and deal with everyday aspects of life that don't always go our way, we don't sweat the small stuff. Women, no disrespect, you're emotional beings. You sweat the small stuff. It bugs you, right? And the more things that you allow to bug you, the longer it's going to take for you to get your stuff done. It's going to set you behind. It's going to put you in a different state of mind, right? So that's the difference between men and women is women respond to things initially emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. Men are more logical thinkers up front, and then maybe we show some emotion afterwards. So that's why, in my opinion, I feel it's much harder for women to balance their work and personal life because of their emotions. Let go of the small stuff. Don't let the small stuff get to you, ladies. Unfortunately, it typically always does because as part of your natural essence of being feminine, you're an emotional being. And you respond to everything emotionally based on how you're feeling in the present moment. Even if you're trying to be a tough chick and be a leader, like this woman I went on a date with, okay, nice lady, big heart, very considerate, but she would always tell me, she would say, I'm like, when I'm at work, I got to be strong, and I feel like I have more masculine energy, and I feel like I come off with more masculine energy. And I tried to tell her, I said, well, that's not a normal and healthy thing. I said that both men and women need to be in their natural essence of being masculine or feminine 70 to 80% of the time. And I said the other 20 to 30% of the time, a woman is going to act a little more masculine, a man may act a little more feminine. But if you act, if you come off and act your opposite, opposite of your natural essence more than 20 to 30% of the time, then it's just not going to work out for you. Why would any woman want to be with a man that acts more feminine than masculine? Why would any man want to be with a woman that acts more masculine than feminine? I tried to explain this to this woman, like I mentioned earlier, and that's when I knew it wasn't going to work out. And she goes, well, I don't agree with you on that, very politely. I said, don't worry about it. Most women don't. That's just the way the world is. And that's where I ended the date, right? That's where we're at, guys and gals. That's what's really going on. So, all right. So that's that. I'm going to step away and take one more quick break and come back and briefly go over this CNBC article. Building a career is more of a priority than having kids, say single American women. And let's see, this is not too terribly long. So it won't take too long to go over it when I get back. So let's see if anyone is still here. Let's see. The Howling Madness. Too much effort, too little reward. Better go MGTOW, brother. Well, dude, number one, I'm not a MGTOW channel. And number two, I am grateful and thankful for a red pill MGTOW philosophy, but I'm not MGTOW, brother. I'm a coach, and I actually like women, and I want to date and marry a woman at some point if it's possible. With the caution and awareness of the red pill, I'm more so purple pill. Maybe you'll say that purple pill doesn't exist, but maybe I know you from the past. Do I know you from the past? You can let me know while I take a break, and I'll get back to you when I get back. Let me check out Facebook and see if anyone's there. Nope. Got 9 people on YouTube. We've been on for 1 hour and 46 minutes. So let me go ahead and queue up some more royalty-free YouTube music. I'll try to play some music I haven't played in a while. Let me see here. There's one I probably haven't played in a while. Okay. Let me see. And just need one more. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for another 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. Like I said, when we return, I'm going to be reading a CNBC article written a couple of years ago, still very relevant to this day. Building a career is more of a priority than having kids, say single American women. So stick around for that. Whoops, no, I've never posted on your previous channels. I regret how your relationship with the manosphere ended, though. Well, how would you know about that, dude? No, I've never posted. So you've been around, you've been following me. But you say you regret how your relationship with the manosphere ended, though. What do you regret, dude? I have no regrets. I'm an individual. I'm a man. I'm an individual. And I don't live by any other person's rules but my own. And I can hang out with whoever I want to hang out with and, disassociate myself with anyone I don't want to associate with. But I'm not going to ban you. Don't worry. I'm not going to ban you. You're being respectful. We can have a conversation on this. But, why do you regret how my relationship with the manosphere ended? I was dealing with a bunch of immature, insecure, emotionally and mentally unstable people that have no give. They have no flexibility. They're not reasonable people. How can you hang around and be friends with and even try to help people that are unreasonable, sir? I'm being honest with you. Please feel free to ask me any questions or make any statements. I wish you all the best, Eli. That's all you're going to say, right? Right. Because you have no comeback to that, sir. Seriously. I just basically was honest with you. I asked you a simple question. Why do you regret my relationship ending with the manosphere? Now you got nothing? Okay, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. Take care. We'll be right back! to say welcome back. Let's see, because it is 5:47 a.m. in her neck of the woods on the East Coast, and it's 2:47 a.m. in my neck of the woods on the West Coast. Welcome back. Woo! The Howling Madness. I don't know if you're still around. I know you said you had to go, but I will respond to you in a second. It'll be respectful. It'll be respectful, but it'll be honest with you, man. I'm going to be very honest, all right? All right. Oh, yeah. Slow it down a bit, Eli. Slow it down a bit. Slow it down. Yeah, slow it down. Slow it down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Be a leader, not a boss. Be a leader, not a boss. Check it out. Check it out. Let me turn off the chat for a second. Be a leader, not a boss, okay? Lead by example. Lead by example. All right. I guess Mutt had to go. No problem, Mutt. No problem. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Yes, 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 we are back. We are back, we are back, we are back. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the third segment of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition, live here on YouTube and also, once again, simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you could all join me this late night, or if you're watching the replay on Saturday or any other day, no worries. Glad you could all join me here today. Please feel free to leave your comments in the comments section on Facebook and YouTube if you're not here live. And tonight, we've been discussing a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. I'm very passionate about it because I actually love both men and women. I do. I love men and women. I love men differently than I love women. Don't get me wrong. Okay, just making that very clear for some of you out there that just need a little more clarity on that. But this topic, career-focused versus well-balanced women. How can men prevent wasting time seeking the right match? One more time, career-focused versus well-balanced women. How can men prevent wasting time seeking the right match? And I say this respectfully because, you know, I'm not saying that all women are bad. I'm not saying women are even bad in general. There are bad and good men, and there are, you know, bad and good women, right? What I'm saying is that to prevent, you know, your time being wasted, guys, you got to become more intuitive. You got to know what you're looking for. You got to ask the right questions. You got to get to the point quick and not get enamored by a woman's looks trying to, you know, force something to work, or, you know, stick around an initial meeting with a woman longer than necessary when you know it's not working out. If you can, you know, pick up that it's not working out, you got to get out. Be respectful, be kind, be polite, but don't try to drag something on longer than it needs to go. But bottom line, and it's not an easy thing to do because not all men are as intuitive as I am, and I can help you become that intuitive, where your instinct will kick in. You'll become instinctual when it comes to, you know, dating women and meeting women, and you're going to be able to quickly decipher whether this is somebody that's really into you or into you for the wrong reasons, and whether you should invest more time or any time at all, or just withdraw and leave that space open for someone else, right? Right. Now, before I get to the final article here, the Howling Madness says, I wish you all the best, Eli. It was very rough. I'm not going to attack or defend anyone. I'm not asking you to, bro. And I'm respectfully responding to you. I'm not angry at you, and I appreciate your thoughts. Okay? And before I further respond, let me read your other comment before you left. I have to go. My apologies. You don't owe me an apology, bro. You didn't do anything wrong. You're stating, you know, your opinion. You're stating what you felt happened. I didn't mean to distract you from your topic. You didn't distract me from my topic, bro. I talk about life's principles, and I'm open to talking about anything on any show. As long as it pertains to business and personal, success coaching, relationship coaching, life coaching, we can talk about it. So you didn't distract me. You didn't, disrespect me. You don't owe me an apology, dude. And he's like, good luck with the rest of your stream, Eli. Well, thank you, whoever you are. You probably know me from the past. I will say this, bro, one more time. Understand this. I don't hate anybody. I don't want to hate anybody, and I don't really hate anybody. I just don't want to be around people that are a distraction from moving forward in a positive way. I don't want to be around drama people. I don't want to be around negative people. I don't want to be around people that would rather sit around with a huge group of people dwelling each other's sorrows away rather than trying to uplift each other and create positive greatness. That's all I was saying, dude. When you're saying that the manosphere was very, very rough on me, yes, they were. And here I am 4 years later saying, I understand why they were rough on me. Was it the right thing for them to do? No. Did I participate and did I give them a piece of my mind? And was that the right thing? No. But I learned that these people are not in the right place or space mentally and emotionally. They have lots of mental and emotional issues, and they're very immature and insecure. And I'm talking about primarily these men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. You got grown men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond that are behaving like 2-year-old little girls, dude. You know that, right? And I'm not asking you to attack anyone or defend anyone. And I'm not attacking anyone or defending anyone. I'm stating the facts. These people, these men need help. They need help. Look at what's happened, dude. Do you know, dude, this is my main channel. I've had many other channels, but my two main channels that have both been monetized at one point or another. My former channel was monetized for a little while. And I got removed because they changed their monetization policies, requiring, more subscribers and watch time. I didn't get removed for violating any policies. But between my former channel I used to run, my former coaching channel I used to run, that I shut down a few years ago, and this channel now that I've been running for over 2 years, I've never had one community guideline strike. I've never, ever had any content removed. But all these other people you're talking about, dude, look at them. Many of them have had many channels shut down. They get community guideline strikes. And that says a lot. And why is that happening? Because of the way they're behaving. And to be quite frank, dude, I talk about the same things that these people do. The difference with me is that I talk about it in respectful, mature, professional, and proper ways. And I try to uplift people, not attack people and kick them down. The reason why these people attack others and kick people down is because they've been through so much and they haven't been able to work through their issues yet. So they go out here on YouTube and project onto other people like me, trying to kick me down to their level so they can feel better, bro. That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying. So I appreciate you stopping by and sharing your thoughts. And the best of luck to you. If you want to come on by down the road or ever email me and let me know who you are, I'd be glad to talk with you, man. But thanks for stopping by. Okay, so let's get back over to the browser source here and get to this final, thing I want to do here tonight. I want to read this final blog here. It's pretty short, but it makes a lot of sense pertaining to the topic: career-focused versus well-balanced women, and how can men prevent wasting time seeking the right match? All right, so needed to sip of my Colombian Supremo. It is late. It's almost 3 a.m. in the morning here, almost 6 a.m. on the East Coast. All right, so this is from CNBC.com, and it's titled, "Building a Career is More of a Priority Than Having Kids, Say Single American Women." This was written on June 27, 2018. So this was about 2.5 years ago. It was written by Sarah Berger. And let's get to it. Family or career, 4 times more single American women are prioritizing building a professional career than having kids, according to a new study conducted by creative marketing agency Hill Holliday and its marketing research Origin. That is definitely a fact. No doubt about it. I've encountered that time and time again with many women that I've talked to, looking to try to find someone to have that type of life with. The study, Reaching the Modern Independent Woman, included a quantitative survey fielded from single men with no children and never married, single women with no children and never married, and married women, as well as qualitative focus groups comprised of similar demographics. It is based on the views of 1,217 respondents between the ages of 30 and 45, the perfect age group, right? Because, by the time a woman hits 30, and this is just biologically speaking, that's when her eggs start to reduce year after year. A woman is most fertile, through her 20s and maybe her early 30s, 30, 31. And after 30, 31, 32 or so, 33, each year after that, her level of fertility, especially after 35, starts to go down significantly. She has far fewer viable eggs, etc., right? Okay? Those are just biological facts, right? Any which way you look at it, ladies, guys, those are biological facts, okay? For women, for single women, the top 3 priorities, in fact, had nothing to do with marriage or family. No kidding. Because that's the way society and the social stigma has basically brainwashed, women to be. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. 44% of single women respondents ranked living on your own as their number one priority. 34% ranked establishing a career as their top priority, and 27% ranked financial security as most important. So how come that can't include a man, a husband, a family, a combined income? Wouldn't that provide you financial security? Wouldn't that also give you, the natural life that all men and women were created to have? I mean, men and women were put on this planet to procreate and to cohabitate. But what's happened in the modern world? We're artificially changing that, right? It's pretty sad to me, right? No disrespect. I'm happy women have equal rights and they're working and they're doing all that. But why can't they do that like men have always done and balance it out in the same ways men have always balanced it out to have that family? Women are saying, well, men and women should be equal, right? I agree. So why can't women handle it the same way men do? That's an honest question, right? It's a very honest question. Life milestones ranked in order of priority by single women. Living on your own, 44%. Establishing a career, 34%. Financial security, 27%. Getting married, 20%. Only 20%. Getting promoted at work, 12%. Moving to a new state and or country, 10%. Having children, only 8% prioritize having children. That's low. That is sad. Buying your dream car, 8%. Planning for retirement, 8%. Buying a home, 6%. So they're all living in nice apartments, right? Especially here in the Bay Area, the single women, they work for high-tech companies. They're making $100,000 a year, 120, 150 grand a year, and they're paying, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month for an apartment. That's what it costs out here to rent an apartment, a one-bedroom. No joke. They prioritize all that over buying a home, cohabitating with someone that they could buy a home with, have a dual income, and, have, that family life as well that we were all biologically made to want to have. That's the way life was meant to be, right? Guess not anymore. For single women, getting married was the number one priority for only 20% of survey respondents, followed by 12% who said getting promoted at work and 10% who said moving to a new state and or country. That's just staggering to me. It's absolutely staggering. Got nothing more to add to that. It's just staggering, and it's true. And it's going to continue heading this direction. This trend continues to head in the same direction. Pretty soon, like I said in the past, it won't happen during my lifetime, but pretty soon, human beings might be extinct like dinosaurs. Never know. If it keeps going this way, you never know. Only 8% of women ranked having children as their top priority, followed by 8% who said buying their dream car was most important, 8% who ranked planning for retirement at the top, and just 6% who said buying a home was number one. And I showed that chart there a second ago. Same thing. Single women also expressed that 10 years from now, their top 3 professional priorities would be work-life balance. Let me repeat that again. Single women also expressed that 10 years from now, not now, when you're still young and more fertile, and you can have that family and have more energy to raise your kids and all that. Not now. 10 years from now. Their top 3 professional priorities would be work-life balance. Right now, their top priority is not work-life balance. Work-life balance should be a top priority your entire life. Getting promoted and increasing income. Meanwhile, 10 years from now, the top 3 personal priorities for single women were listed as travel, getting married, and owning their own home. 10 years from now. Now, how old did they say the average woman was in this survey? 30 to 45. Let's take 30, the minimum age of this poll. 10 years from now, that would put these women at 40 years old, single, never been married, no kids. When a woman hits 40, her fertility level drops way down. She can still get pregnant, and there are many women that have successfully had kids in their 40s. But it's going to take a lot more work. It's going to be harder. You might need in vitro fertilization. It's going to cost you more money. It's going to be more frustrating. You're 30 right now. What's the problem? What are you waiting for? And does being married to somebody and having a family going to affect your job? No. You find the right man, he'll support you. And together you'll figure it out. You can balance it out. You're just choosing not to. This is sad. I've personally experienced this. On the whole, today's single women have a strong sense of self and reject the outdated notion that they're missing out on all that life has to offer, the study states. Well, they are missing out. And they realize it 10 years later, like they're saying. With articles like this and people talking about this, why are not women realizing that, oh my gosh, yeah, I want to get promoted. Yeah, I want to get more established in my work. But if I want to have that family and I wait till I'm 40, how much more difficult is that going to be? Even if I find the right person, how much more difficult will it be for me to get pregnant? And when I have my kids at 40 and they're 15, I'm going to be 55 instead of 45. Why aren't we taking all that into consideration? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. That's just the way it is. Yeah, Bruce Hornsby. That's just the way it is. It is what it is. That's all I can say about it. The study also found that single women tend to keep their desire for kids to themselves. Right, because they don't want to get distracted from their career and getting promoted, making more money, buying that house, right? All of that. Especially when in a professional setting, of course. Because if the boss hears that you're planning on getting pregnant and having a family, they may not promote you, right? Which they shouldn't discriminate regarding those situations, but it's still happening in the corporate world. They do discriminate, so I get it. I understand. I understand that. Only 28% of single women surveyed said they would choose to share in a professional profile that they eventually want children because they know it's going to affect their job because of discrimination. It still exists. Not everywhere, but a lot of companies will discriminate women that are thinking of getting pregnant, and they get pregnant because they're going to be out for a little while, right? In contrast, men were 36% more likely than women to share that they want children according to the study. It's funny to me how nowadays men are more so expressing the desire to have children than women. It used to be the other way around before women were liberated. I wonder why. Put two and two together. You can figure it out on your own. Previous research has found that having children isn't great for women's income. Well, why would that have to be so? Companies are not allowed to discriminate against women that want to have kids. And if they do end up discriminating against you, you got a lawsuit, a huge lawsuit. So that's part of the thing. Previous research has found that having children isn't great for women's income, as each child takes off about 4% of a woman's hourly wages. Oh, they mean that it's going to cost her, it's going to be more of an expense to her to take care of her child. So she'd rather not have one. Wow, that is completely within a woman's biology, according to the way, what I feel women were made to be through God. I believe in God, and many of you do as well. Wow. That's why, when they say women are acting more masculine than feminine nowadays, it's true. With no disrespect, that's what's happening. What's happening is that women are becoming men, and some men are becoming women. And the more and more women behave more masculine and focus 100% of their time in their careers, those types of women are not attractive to men like me. No matter how beautiful they are physically, they're just not attractive to me because they're not the typical biological type of woman that strong men are attracted to. While men's earnings increased by 6% after becoming fathers. Okay. I don't know why that is the case, but that's what the blog says. I have nothing to add to that. I'm going to have to research that. While men's earnings increased by 6% after becoming fathers. I don't know why that would be, but that's what it says. So that's the CNBC article. Building a career is more of a priority than having kids, say single American women. Okay, folks, if you have any questions, get them in the chat right now. I'm about to wrap this up. Walker, Texas Stranger, truer words have never been spoken. Well, thank you for stopping by, Walker, Texas Stranger. You're not Robert, are you? It's all good. It's not a big deal. All right. I'm going to head back over to full screen. And before I wrap this up, I just want to go ahead and add both of these blog links under the sources category, about a third of the way down in the description of the YouTube side of things. And then I'll share that on Facebook as well. Just give me a second here. Walker, Texas Stranger. Oh, man. Give me just a second here. Okay. All right. If you refresh on the YouTube side of things, or you come back on the replay, you will see the links to both blogs dissected, and you can check them out for more information if you'd like. And I just shared the same sources section on the Facebook side of things as well. All right, folks, we've been on for 2 hours and 22 minutes. It's 6:12 a.m. Eastern time, 3:12 a.m. Pacific time. This was a very impromptu show. I'm the kind of person that sometimes will just, go on the fly and put on a show at the last minute after I came back from a date that didn't go as I would have hoped it would have gone. And I'm going to continue sharing my experiences with you folks so together we can learn how to live a more drama-free life and how to accomplish whatever it is we want to accomplish in our business and personal life. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for taking the time to, be here tonight live, or if you're viewing this on the replay, for viewing this live replay video. Want to thank you to the Howling Madness for being here. Thank you to even you, Walker, Texas Stranger, whether you're Robert or not, it's all good. Maybe you'll come and say, who's Robert? Well, okay, enough said. And thank you to Mutt Nuts World for being here as well. With that being said, folks, I am probably not going to go hiking this weekend. That may change, but more than likely not. I will probably be going live. Which is what I'm trying to say. Later today, Saturday, and then probably Sunday. So you're going to continue getting more content from me. And if there are any topics you would like me to discuss, please go in the description, either on Facebook or on YouTube, and email me at Coach Eli at coacheli@melas.com. Send me your topic requests, or even send me your own stories, and I can do an anonymous reply and dissect your situation and help you out on the future live stream or pre-recorded video. All right, have yourselves a great night, or great morning, or great day, or great weekend, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.